Century Resort. This is Jennifer, and I am at Disney World for the Princess Half Marathon weekend with my kiddo. And to be quite honest, we got a really late start this morning, and I really wanted to live stream, but just didn't know what the day was going to look like. Yesterday was pretty busy, so here we are at Disney's Pop Century Resort. And this is the main entrance of the building. Disney's Pop Century Resort is a value resort on Disney World property, and quite honestly, one of our favorites. We've stayed here quite a few times. I'm going to take you on a short walk around with me so you get a feel for what the resort looks like, where to find the Skyliner, the proximity to the Art of Animation, which is very, very close. Yeah, so come on, take a walk with me, and I will bring you around Pop Century. Thanks so much for joining this morning. Again, it's getting a little bit later in the day. We got in yesterday and expected to have a really short day at Hollywood Studios, and ended up just going and going and going. And so it was really a tough wake up this morning. But we are here for the Disney World Princess Half Marathon weekend. We are running the half marathon tomorrow morning. And so the 10K was this morning, the 5K was yesterday. And when I've come down for a lot of other race weekends, we've done all of the races. So it's kind of nice to take it easy. But originally we weren't going to be here at all. Originally we were just coming down for the half marathon, and that meant that we were intending just to stay a couple of nights. We're moving on over to Animal Kingdom Lodge, Kidani Village later on today. But in true Jennifer fashion, I decided that my trip needed to be extended, and so changed the flights, added a night on at Pop Century, and so here you are with me. Given that this is, earlier in the morning, this is a really popular arrival time. And so here I am at the front of Pop Century Resort, and this is the Bell Services desk here. So right outside, right as you enter, the Bell Services folks are right here. What we do and what we did yesterday is we arrived, and of course our room wasn't ready yet. The standard arrival time is around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so our room wasn't ready. So we came on over, we checked our bags with the Bell Services folks. We ran over and got lunch, and then headed out to the parks. And then when we got in later on last night, they had already brought our bags with us, or brought our bags to our room. And so we didn't even have to call them. Normally we have to call Bell Services when we get to our room, and they will, they'll bring your bags that you left with them during the day to your room. But I just wanted to show you here. So those folks in that direction are waiting for an airport shuttle. And so, so that's where you would go at the end of your trip if you were taking a shuttle back to the airport. But this is the main entry area, so we will go on in. And since this is a race weekend, of course, there's information about the Run Disney transportation and buses and all that fun stuff. But here's the lobby to Pop Century. It's really hopping right now again because it's a really popular arrival time. Last night, when I had some questions to ask, usually later on in the evening, if I have questions for the front desk, for concierge, then I will go ahead and wait until later in the evening when it's much quieter than it is right now. But this is the first place you enter when you get to Disney's Pop Century Resort. And then over here to the right is a kid zone. So if one parent is checking in, then another parent or family member can be over, hanging out with the kids and watching a little bit of TV, having a good time over here. Disney usually does a really nice job with, moving people through lines. But of course, I don't know if you are anything like me. I don't want to wait in a line when I get here. And so that's one of the reasons why I always do the online check-in. With online check-in at a Disney resort, they will send you a text when your room is ready. So you don't actually have to go to the front desk at all unless you've got questions. I'm just looking around the lobby a little bit here so you get a feel of the theming of this really fun resort. I think we all have decades that speak to us. And the 70s, 80s stuff is what I love. And what I do want to point out is that on the ceiling, they have the years. And then some of the fun, nostalgic items from that decade. So I think pop has to speak to me because some of the 70s and 80s stuff on the walls. Not gonna lie. We've got Wonder Woman. I love it. Right. So again, it's a very busy time. My goal is not to get in the way of anyone, and so I will do the best I can to show you around and still not be a nuisance to the folks who are trying to go about their business. Right here is the Everything Pop shopping and dining. So as a value resort, you've got a large food court and then a fun shopping area. I really love that the resorts have some of their own merchandise here. And so we've got some Pop Century stuff. And a common question I always get is, do I need to order groceries? What should I bring with me? There are a handful of snacks available, and so if you think you just want some snacks for your room, you don't necessarily need a lot of groceries. They have a few things here. Not a lot. Not as much as the deluxe resorts that have full kitchens, but enough. You've got some donuts and some bread, peanut butter, and then of course lots of treats. And some really fun merchandise. If you have any questions as I go, please feel free to ask questions in the chat. I'd be happy to try to answer them. Full disclosure, my eyes are not as good as they once were. So if it is really bright, or if I'm slow to respond, it's because I might need to move the camera a little bit further away from my face than I used to be able to see everything. So now we are headed into the food court area. Just like with any other quick service restaurant at Disney World, you are able to mobile order. They've got a mobile order section right over here where they put everything together for you, have it ready to go. But of course, if you don't want to mobile order, then you are welcome to go over to the different bays and wait in line and purchase whatever you'd like over there. And with the bays, you pick up your food, but then you actually pay at the registers. And so you can go to the different bays. If everyone wants something a little bit different, you're welcome to do that. They also have some grab-and-go items in this direction. So lots of water, of course, but some beer and wine options, grab-and-go salads, sandwiches, fruit, Had some overnight oats this morning. Of course, lots of baked goods. And it wouldn't be a true Disney vacation without the frozen novelties. So let me go down here and show you. Of course, you can get your Mickey Premium bars here. Of course. We just got in yesterday, so I haven't had the opportunity to do that just yet. But this is what you can expect from the Pop Century food court. And the registers are in this direction. One thing I didn't show you yet, I will right now, are the resort refillable mugs. So right now they've got 50th anniversary refillable mugs. And so the way that works is you can pick a mug, purchase it. They activate it usually for a 2-week time span. And then you're able to bring that to any Disney World Resort for beverages in, the soda fountains. There's usually lemonade, sometimes Powerade, but also coffee, tea. There was hot chocolate this morning. So those mugs are great for any resort, but they're not for use in the park. So you can fill them up and bring them to the parks with you, but you're not able to refill them in the parks. One of the refill stations. And when you put your mug on the refill station, there's a sensor in the bottom of the mug that says it's good to go, and then you're able to fill it up. So it is pretty loud and active out here this morning, so I am going to head on out of the food court and out toward the resort. Thank you. So here we go. They have the Petals Pool Bar that's open a little bit later on in the day. It is still 10 something, so they're not quite open yet this morning. And then here is one of the 3 pools here at Disney's Pop Century Resort. It is the Hippy Dippy pool, of course, because we are in the 60s section. Pool hours today are 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And it's a super cute pool. It's a nice, large space. I really love this section. This is the section I try to stay in really whenever I can. I love it here. It's right in the middle of everything, very easy to access everything. The rooms on either side of this pool are preferred pool view rooms. And so you're in a prefer section and facing the pool. And if you book that section, you know you're going to be right in the middle of everything. And then here is the layout of the resort, just to give you an idea of what you're looking at. We are right in the middle in that, in the pool, in the 60s section. And then there's a 50s section, 70s section, 80s and 90s. And we'll see how far I get today, but I want to make sure that you have an idea of what to expect from the resort. So I'm going to head on over to at least get a glimpse of the 50s section. And on the way there, I will show you over by the pool, there's also a laundry room. So I'm not going to head on into the laundry room, but I'll just show you through the window. There's laundry, there's vending for detergent and dryer sheets. So you can definitely do your laundry here. And I have done that before. All right. So over here is the 50 section. The 50 section decor. There's quite a bit of decor, but the stairwells are bowling pins, which I think is super fun. And one bit of trivia about this area of Pop Century is that there are 3 buildings. Each of the 3 buildings have 3 stairwells. And so there are 9 bowling pins there. And then the pool in this area is a bowling pin. So you actually have 10 bowling pins, of course. Because of course the details are important. And it's super fun. So we'll take a quick walk over to the bowling pin section, and then I will walk back around and show you a bit more. And again, if you've got any questions, please feel free to enter that into the chat. Happy to answer questions for you. If you don't already subscribe to Wizarding Wands and Mickey Ears, if you'll subscribe to our YouTube channel, please go ahead and do that. And then if you'd like to hit the bell icon, you will be notified anytime that we go live or post new content. And I try to post new content weekly for everyone. And then if you're looking for more interaction, head on over to Facebook. We have a Facebook group where you are able to ask questions or share all the fun that you're having. So it's tough to tell here, but this is the bowling pin pool. It's in the shape of a bowling pin. So I love all the details at this resort. And you'll see a bunch of people walking around with medals. Again, today was the 10K on the Princess Half Marathon Weekend 10K. And one thing I really love about running Disney races is that people wear their medals. They celebrate all day. I've run races other places, and you get your medal and you wear it for about 5 minutes to take a picture, and then you take it off. And it's something that, it's a souvenir. It's something you have at home to show that you have that accomplishment. But here, folks tend to wear their medals for a good part of the day. It's a celebration, it's solidarity with everyone else who ran that day. And it's just a ton of fun. And so it's so much more than just a race or just a race weekend. It's a whole community. You know who your people are. Well, and if you're at Disney, you know that a lot of folks are your people already. So back on over to the 60s section here. And the yo-yos are the stairwell entrances. And I am actually going to walk around this way and show you how close the Skyliner is from the main pool and the main building. If you are unfamiliar, the Skyliner is one of the transportation systems at Disney World Resort. It goes to Epcot and Hollywood Studios by way of transfer at Caribbean Beach. So if you are staying at Caribbean Beach Resort, you're right there. You can hop on a Skyliner to Epcot or to Hollywood Studios. It's about a 3-minute ride from Caribbean Beach to Hollywood Studios, about a 9 or 10-minute ride on over to Epcot, so super quick. And from here, when we hopped on yesterday, it was about, a 2.5, 3-minute ride on over to Caribbean Beach. And yeah, the music here is great. All of the areas of the resort have fun and what's the word I'm looking for? Just period music to the decade. And just the details are so fun in this space. We've got Play-Doh. So I just passed the Hippy Dippy pool. It's right behind me. There is a little play area, splash pad area. for kiddos over here. And then just beyond this building is the Skyliner. Good morning. Oh gosh, no worries. Sorry. And so right here is where you will find the Skyliner. In addition to riding the Skyliner and how convenient it is, I think it's just beautiful. It's so fun to look at. It's peaceful. The cars just glide so gently. And so this Skyliner station is located in the middle of Hourglass Lake. There is a lot of history to the naming of everything, of course, at this resort. And I'm not quite sure what they're calling this bridge anymore. It used to be called the Generation Gap Bridge. And that's because the Art of Animation on the other side was originally scheduled to be the early years. So this was Pop Century. And then originally the resort across the way, which is currently the Art of Animation, was supposed to be the early years. And then construction was halted for a time when they started the buildings, and they decided to completely change the theming once they were prepared to actually build out the resort. But super, super quick transportation, really convenient. You'll notice here that there is a car that is stopped. So most of them go continuously, and so you just hop on as they're moving. However, all of the Skyliner stations have a section of cars that do stop for folks with wheelchairs, scooters, strollers, so that you can easily use this transportation system as well. And they are notated, so they know which one has a scooter in it, and so when it goes to the next station, they know that that is one of the cars that will need to be in a section that stops, of course. So whoever is in the scooter, wheelchair, or stroller will be able to get out also in a stopped section. And I am not going to walk around the Art of Animation today, but I did want to show you exactly how close it is. So that was the Skyliner station for Pop Century and Art of Animation, and this is the Art of Animation right here. So I know a lot of times large families travel together. They don't know exactly where to stay. The Art of Animation has suites. The suites sleep up to 6, but sometimes not everyone wants to be in a suite or in a Little Mermaid room, because the Little Mermaid rooms have 2 queen beds. They're smaller rooms. They're at the Art of Animation. And so you can easily have families who are staying, with part of their group at the Art of Animation, part of their group at Pop Century, and still be incredibly close together, staying at both of those resorts. And sometimes when I'm at Magic Kingdom or Animal Kingdom and staying at one of these 2 resorts, I'll actually play bus roulette, and I'll just I'll keep an eye on the Pop Century bus, I'll keep an eye on the Art of Animation bus, and I'll just hop on when I'm trying to get back to the resort. I'll hop on whichever bus comes first, because I know that I'll be close to my resort even if I get on the other bus, and I can walk right on over. The other thing I like about these resorts being so close together is that you have the opportunity to eat at both of the food courts. And so if you are looking for something a little bit different, Easy enough to hop on the mobile order on the My Disney Experience app, and then mobile order something at the other one and walk right on over. Nice and close. Morning. You guys look great. I almost walked past it, but I wanted to show you that there's also a map for a running trail that goes around the Hourglass Lake in front of, or around next to Pop Century and the Art of Animation. So if you're looking to get some exercise in, get a few miles in, you can run around the lake a few times. It said 1.3 miles around. And so also, just so you know, that means, of course, that there's a sidewalk that goes all the way around the lake as well. So if you're looking to get around and you're at the far ends of the resorts, you can certainly walk around instead of take the bridge.
What happened? I was trying to click on the Pokestop, but then it worked.
And then another fun thing about the resort is that they also have just trivia about the different decades and different years. And so it's a great way to slow down, just to walk around and enjoy the resort. So now we are moving past the 60s section into the 70s section. And the 70s section here, the stairwells are all 8 tracks. So for those of you who remember what an 8-track is, that's what you see in the 70s section. And I am actually, it sounds like they're doing a little bit of work, so it's going to be kind of loud, but I'm still going to walk through the 70s section because there are just some fun things that make me smile. So I will go on the far end of this building and walk forward. Congratulations! So it is not quite 10:30 here. Everyone that you see walking around with a race medal this morning, they were probably up no later than about 2:30 in the morning because Disney races start early. They start around 5 a.m. Because they go on, roads and go through the parks, and so they need to be able to open the parks. And so the folks who are running were up and on a bus. The races are all starting at in the Epcot parking lot area. And so, of course, with race transportation, with oodles of people, you need to prepare, and have the time to be able to get there, to get into the corrals, to start the races. And so you're usually on a bus by, I think the buses start running at 2:30 in the morning right now. So tomorrow when we run the half marathon, I'm thinking 3:15 is when I'll be on a bus to head to the race start. And you go through security. There's usually some entertainment, music in when you enter into the race area, and then of course in the corrals, and then you get started running. All right, here we go. 70 section is a ton of fun. There is something about the larger than life foosball here that just cracks me up. And then of course the big wheel, again, child of the 80s, born in the 70s. This area is just a lot of fun. So there's the big wheel. And then of course the Mickey phone. Ah, love it. Can't get enough of it. All right, well, I'm gonna do a little bit more walking here to give you an idea of what to expect in the other sections. And then I'm gonna come back around and show you the bus stops where you pick up the park buses. And so you have an idea of what the distance looks like. And again, if you'd like to come on over here, play some Twister. We've got Twister right here out in front of the rooms. I think I'd break something if I tried to play Twister right now. And again, right across the lake, those are the Cars suites at the Art of Animation. So, really close. In true 80s fashion, we have got Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head over here. And then, of course, a Rubik's Cube as the stairwells for this area. And I should mention, if you are staying here like in a preferred pool view room, it's really easy to not explore the rest of the resort. And it's a fun resort to explore. So, if you are in the center and, that's where you like to be, great. But I do recommend, taking some time to walk around and just to get the chance to see all of the details. And then we've got Roger Rabbit up here. And the third pool is a computer pool. So I'll give you an idea of what that looks like. And of course, if you're staying on a higher floor, it's fun to see, what everything looks like from up high, because that's why it was designed the way it's designed, so that you can see all of these details. And so there we've got a 90s building on the 90s section with a laptop, because of course, right? And then this is the computer pool. And it doesn't look like much from here, but then here's the keyboard for the computer pool. And so when you are on one of the top floors, you look on over and it looks just like a computer. And once upon a time, when this resort was built, there was no fencing around the pools. That's a relatively recent development at the Disney World Resorts. And so the theming, I think, was a little bit more cohesive around the pools. And you'll notice some of the fencing around the pools is a little awkward. I know I feel like it is at Animal Kingdom Lodge, where I love. We stay there a lot, but fencing is a little bit awkward around the large pool because it wasn't originally built to be there. And so they put it in to make it as unobtrusive as possible. But still, the layout is a little awkward. But I think they've done a nice job for safety. Anyone still have some of those floppy disks hanging around? I don't think I do anymore. I think I finally went through everything and got rid of them. Of course, they're of no use to me right now. But I certainly did, I think, until last summer when I went through some old boxes. So I am over here by the 90s building, and I wanted to give you an idea of what to expect. There are some runners. Congratulations!
Thank you.
Of what to expect for the buses. This is a standard, all the rooms facing this pool would be standard pool view. And so the buses are all right on the other side of this parking lot. And so if you cut through the parking lot, they're really not very far at all. But I won't. I'll take the sidewalk here. Oh, Pac-Man. I love this resort. So if you are, again, familiar with Disney World transportation, you'll know that all of the resorts have transportation, free transportation to the parks. Here again at Pop Century, you've got the Skyliner to Hollywood Studios and to Epcot. And they have buses to an Animal Kingdom large outdoor mall with Disney stores and Disney touches. And then also, if they have special events happening, like this is a race weekend, then the far end, the buses will also have buses for the transportation area will also have buses for that special event. And so that coach bus there at the end is heading on over to the expo. The race expo is at the ESPN Wide World of Sports complex on Disney World property. And so I am walking through the street just a little bit here to stay out of the way of folks who are packing up. Be convenient to transportation. I think I lost the stream a minute there. I was saying when I drive down, I drive from Minnesota, or I fly from Minnesota, so we never drive. But if you drive down, there is plenty of parking at this resort, or if you rent a car. All right, and here we are in the transportation area. Good morning. And so that coach bus is headed to the expo. Oh. And my gimbal just gave up on me because of the heat. Again, it's pretty warm. It's unseasonably warm. So this is a great place for me to actually end the stream. That's where I wanted to end the stream. So we see a Magic Kingdom bus there, heading on over to Magic Kingdom. And we are back here at the entrance. Joining me today, again, this is Jennifer with Visiting Wands and Little Ears. And if you don't already subscribe, we'd love it. If you could please hit the subscribe button. And again, go ahead and hop on over to Facebook on our Visiting Wands and Little Ears Facebook page, where you can celebrate your trips, ask questions about your trips, travel in general, any of those pieces. We do specialize in Disney destinations and Universal Studios, but happy to talk about travel in general. We don't only just travel to Disney destinations and Universal Studios. But then also we are on Instagram and a little bit on TikTok. Not a whole lot, but trying to get a little bit more going on there. And again, we are agents with Mickey Travels and Let's Adventure Travel. And so if you're looking to plan a trip to Disney or Universal or even a number of different destinations, head on over to Mickey Travels, Let's Adventure Travel, and we can help you out. Or of course, you can email us at wwneadventures@gmail.com, and you will get straight to Visiting Wands and Mickey Ears, myself and Catherine, and we can help you out too. So thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate everyone who is interested in watching and likes our content. That's why I put it together so that it can be useful. Please let me know if there's anything that you are looking for, and I can work on future videos. Have a good day and enjoy the journey. Bye.